The Lord is calling many people to preach His word to other people that don't know who He is. I want to share the story of Moses where God told him to preach about Jesus, and Moses hesitated and told God that he didn't want to do it because he had a speech problem. And he kept going back and forth with God, telling him, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Can't speak well. And God is slow to anger. He was so patient with Moses that after, I believe it was the fifth time, God said, okay, fine. I'm going to use your brother Aaron to speak for you. But I'm going to give you the message and you tell your brother what to say. And so I share this story because many people know that they're supposed to be sharing the word of God with others, but they're coming up with excuses. And in the story in the book of Exodus, God asked Moses and said, who created your mouth? Meaning, who made you? Do you not know who you are? Do you not think that I don't know who you are? God knew his disability, but he still chose to use him. And that's another thing. There is people who have disabilities and they use that like, no, I can't because I can't stand up. Or I can't because there's... If God can use anyone, anyone who is willing to do the will of God, anyone who is willing to preach the word of God, God can use you. So don't come up with excuses. There is people in this world that have some severe disabilities and they are doing the work of the Lord. Nothing and no one can stop you. No one, nothing can stop you from preaching the word of God to someone else. A lot of us become lazy. We get distracted. We feel uncomfortable. The Lord wants us to be obedient. So if the Lord is calling you to preach the word to someone, to go somewhere, do it. Let's be obedient and do what God is calling us to do or go. Don't be like Moses, coming up with excuses. I'm not saying that if you're on your deathbed dying to preach the word to someone. I'm not saying that to force yourself. I'm not saying that. If you're on your deathbed dying, then for sure spend the last hours, days, month worshiping God, talking to God before you go with the Lord. But there's many ways that you can spread the gospel, share the good news with other people. Even if it's just a text message to someone or a video, talking to someone, having a simple, short conversation. You never know how much of an impact you can do on a person. To you, it may seem something so small and simple, but to them could mean the world to them, and they might not tell you or show you. But God knows everyone's heart. It is nothing's a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. And remember that nothing can happen without God's permission. People that come in your life, people that come and go, people you bump into, it's not a coincidence. God allows it. So, if you are the person who's running away from sharing the good news, the gospel to others, don't do that. Tell God to remove all fears, all anxiety, panic attacks, whatever it is that's holding you back from stepping forward. Tell the Lord to remove that from you. Surrender it to God, and He will guide you. He will help you. God bless. Take care, and don't forget that Jesus is King.